Hi everyone, this is Cappy from Top Class Science and Printing, and
This is Chris.
we hope everyone is having a good day. Today we're going to talk about how to network for your business. So, all of us hear about networking, but not all of us are doing it correctly. I remember when I first started networking, I didn't have a clue about what I was doing, and it really wasn't working out for me. I realized after that you do have to put in some work like anything else. And like anything else, you have to be consistent and you have to show up and, get involved.
That is true. I myself I'm kind of a shy person, but the event is kind of designed that everybody's there for the same purpose. Everybody is expecting to be approached. It's not like you're just walking on the street and just talking to a random person. They're there to network. They're there to exchange cards. They're there to talk to you, and especially if you have a good business, something that somebody could benefit from. They definitely want to, see you, meet you, see what your products are, what you have to offer. And it's a back and forth exchange. You give them business, they can give you business, and it's all about that relationship that you build with your, the potential customer you may have.
So when you think about joining organization or networking chamber, you should always try at least a couple of events before committing to that organization. Try to go to, I say, about three. Try their luncheon, their breakfast, their after hours. Get a feel for their organization and the kind of people that attend, and make sure it's a good target for what you're trying to achieve by attending there.
And also keep in mind when you're looking for the chambers, you don't have to stick directly in your area. Sometimes it might be a good one that's maybe a little bit, 15, 20 minutes outside of your actual, business area, and that's fine. That's not too far. It's still within distance from your customers of driving, or for you to drive. It's not that bad. It's about getting the business, whether it's, right next to you or you have to take a little more effort to go outside of your zone. It's all about, you can't limit yourself to just, that small area because the more customers you have, the better.
So everyone has a fear of networking. Okay, maybe not everyone. But I know that when I first started attending, since I didn't know what I was doing and I didn't know anyone in the group, I was a little bit shy. So for us, people who are shy, this may sound bad, but a lot of them offer wine during the after hours. So that can help loose up a little bit. But remember, you're not there so that someone can carry you out of the event. That is not the first image you
Yes.
want to portray. But it could help you relax. And another trick that I like to do and that I do a lot, I don't know if any of you guys do the same. I like to meet people at the bar or while getting food. There is nothing better to start a
That's
conversation
true.
than while you're getting a drink or while you're getting a plate of food. And you can just start easier, random conversation. It just makes it like an icebreaker.
Yeah. It's all about the eye contact. You look at them and see if they give you a reaction back, and then you know what? That's your opening to just your eyes drew each other in, and just like, okay, door opening, get to talking, and that's your way in.
And even if people are in a group and you want to meet that person, because a lot of time you will have a badge and then you see that's a target, that's someone you want to target and you really want to speak to before you leave. Sometimes even if someone is in a group, you can try to find an appropriate way to try to cut in without being rude. It's just about getting a feel for it. And it gets easier as you practice and you keep going. You'll get more comfortable. And as you get to know the people, I have made a lot of great friends just networking that have become business clients and personal friends as well. So it's just about going and interacting with people, just like any. Another important thing is to make sure that you have enough business cards and that they look good. There is nothing worse than approaching someone or someone approaches you and then you guys are done talking, you go to exchange business card and they tell you, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just gave up my last card."
That's happened.
Or, "I'm sorry. I didn't get my cards printed yet." Although that one works great for me because then I tell them, "Here is my card. Call me. I can print them for you and have them on time for your next event. But being serious, there is nothing worse. It makes you look terrible, and you only make a first impression once. So you want to try to look your best. And then let's talk about the quality of the card. That cheap card that says Vistaprint.com on one side, no offense to
No.
Vistaprint.com, but impression is the first impression. So what does that card tell somebody? I was too cheap to get the upgrade. So I have a cheap business and I cannot afford to do business with you.
And one of the biggest problems I find with the VistaPrint cards is typically they're always template based. And you can look at it and just know that it was not professionally designed. Maybe we're critics because this is what we do, but it's very easy to see that they're template based. And especially if you have a certain business, the worst thing you can do is end up with a template that's, maybe your bank or whatever it is, and you have another financial person come, and both of y'all have the same cards. That's definitely going to be a horrible impression. And when you have networking with 20 different people at that same night, you want to have that card that the person is going to remember or is going to stand out from the stack, because that's what it's really about. It's about standing out. And let's say you don't have to have a big budget, but a lot of people invest heavily in business cards for a reason. It says something about you. It leaves a good impression. The quality of the paper, the quality of the graphic design, even up to your logo, that makes a difference. Don't just pick a basic font and throw on some text. Invest in your business, invest in an actual logo. I find that's very, very important. Even if you don't go with the cheap cards, at least have a logo designed. Because not everybody has a big budget. Everybody starts out, but business cards can get pricey, for anywhere from $10 if you go with the cheap Vistaprint cards, up to like $600. I've seen them, but they say something. They give an impression. The sturdiness of the paper or the different features it has, because maybe it's a die cut shape or the spot UV or foiling or different little things that make it a lot nicer.
Big in the marketing business, your business card is one of your most important investment for your business because it's something you hand out everywhere and not only at the networkers. So that's something you want to invest in. The other day, I ran into someone who used to have a print shop as well. You could look at it as competition, but we don't really look at it that way. There's enough business for everyone. So he's no longer in that field, but now he sells businesses. And I saw his card, and his card was great. And we both know how much he invested in the card. It's an expensive card. And he was like, you know how it is. I cannot try to sell you a business for millions of dollars and my card looks cheap. I have to dress the part. I have to drive the car. I have to hand out the card that goes with the lifestyle. You cannot be a realtor trying to sell $1 million home on South Beach and you have a business card that says Vistaprint on the back. I am looking for a new realtor ASAP. And I'm sorry, it may be very superficial, but we are in a society of superficial. Every first impression matters. And if you're going to be in business, it matters.
Let me give you a quick little example of why you're not investing in your business either. Every month, guys, women spend what, $50 on doing your hair. Whereas, you know what, that doesn't necessarily make you money. You look good, but people try to play cheap and invest $10 in business cards or $20 because it's too much money. But you know what? That's actually making you money. That's helping you invest in your business, invest in getting more sales. It's the gateway to making more money, which actually pays for all those haircuts and all that stuff. So why not invest a little bit more in your first impression that you're giving to your customers by having a proper business card?
And actually, that brings us to our next point. Always look your best. Do not go with flip-flops. I love flat shoes. Heels look great, but let's be realistic, they're very uncomfortable, as sexy as they are. But I am not going in a networking event with flat shoes on because it doesn't look right. So you have to look the part. I wear jeans sometimes with nice heels and nice purse and a nicey dressy top. Or I may wear some black pants. But no matter what it is, even if it's jeans, it looks like high-end jeans. It's all put together. It's a nicer purse. You just need to look the part, and it has to work for your field, but it just has to look like you made an effort and you didn't just jump out of bed and went to the networking for breakfast.
That is true.
Our next point will be to ask questions. So networking event is also a great way to speak and get information out of people. You are not going to sell to everybody in there, and everyone is not going to become your customer. So it's a good time to kind of find which customers are going to be best, which customers you're going to want to spend more time with. So just ask questions, because if you are trying to sell $1 million home, again, as a realtor, and someone tells you that they live in a small apartment and they are alone, they are by themselves, and they just started their new business, then maybe they're not a good fit, because most likely, unless they got rich parents, they can afford $1 million home. So you don't want to be rude, but it's not a good lead for you. So you want to keep it moving and find someone else.
Yes. Try not to spend all night speaking to the same person, unless it's a good lead that, you know what, it's worth investing that time to build that relationship while you can. But as you said, if it's somebody that you don't think is going to go anywhere, you know what, move on, try to find somebody else and, speak to them.
And you can just do it politely. Obviously, you don't want to be rude, because you never know who knows who and who could refer someone to you. That's another thing. Don't ever assume that because that person is not a lead for you, they cannot refer someone to you, because that same person's best friend, maybe the president of the US. You never know who somebody knows. Don't judge, a book by its cover, but just know that that person themselves will not be for you. You can keep in touch with them, but themselves, they will not be for you. Our next point will be to stand out if you're in a popular field. I go to a lot of networking events, and a lot of time we have a lot of realtor, people in the financial industry. So you have to find something that makes you different. So if you're a banker and you focus on commercial loans, or if you're a banker and you focus maybe on opening personal accounts, you want to try to bring out whatever it is that you focus on and that you may have that is different from the other banker, and speak about that in order to bring that lead in that you're interested in.
What is also good for a lot of businesses, this is obviously after you join the chamber, sponsorship. You can sponsor the event, and they'll put up your banners, and they'll give you X amount of time to go ahead and do your pitch to the different members that are there, the guests. And it's a very, very good opportunity to really sell to a broader audience that you might not have at that one particular, small event. These are typically at the luncheons, where it's probably less networking happening at that time, because everybody's more sit down into a small group on tables. So those are good opportunity to go ahead and reach that. And typically the lunches bring out a better group of people, just because it's a bit more money to come. So not everybody, I wouldn't want to say the cheaper people, but the people who tend to attend the luncheons tend to invest a lot more in business and just to get the leads.
Another thing, touching on that, not everybody can necessarily afford the sponsorship. So another way is to just get involved, join a committee, or just in order to be seen. It doesn't cost you anything but time, and like that you can get more for your money. So it's just about showing up, getting involved, and helping people. The more you help, the more you try to connect people together, not just yourself to other people, but connect people together. They will think about you more, and they will try to connect you as well to return the favor to other people. So don't be scared of giving and trying to connect. It will come back to you as well, because it's all about the connections, and it's, just like the circle of life. Okay, so after the networker is when the real work begins. This is where people fail to follow up. Following up is the hardest part for most people, but it is the most important part. Well, the second most important part. Showing up was the most important part. But if you don't follow up, you have just wasted your time. There you have many programs to enter cards into a system. You can get a scanner, buy them on eBay, Amazon, wherever you shop. You can go, I think, maybe to Office Depot, any stores that sells this kind of electronics. So get a scanner, or if you have a secretary or someone that can help you typing them in, depending on how many events you attend and how many cards you get, the scanner might be your best bet. So you want to go back to your office or your home, wherever your scanner
Wait,
is.
just to jump in, the scanner is specific for scanning business cards. And one specific one that we use is called Neat. The difference is because it kind of reads the information and automatically enters it into the software. If you get a regular scanner, all you're really doing is just scanning the image of it, not really getting it entered into any type of format you can actually use.
Yeah, that was a good point. I mean, a business card scanner, just for that. So it has a program and then it will read it. The only thing you probably have to go over and make sure the information is correct, but at least you won't have to type out all the cards. So enter that into data, and then you want to follow up with people. Send them an email just saying, hi, it was nice meeting you. I wanted to follow up, and here's my information. So for the people you're not as interested in, but you just want to keep in touch with, because you do want to keep in touch with anyone, since we said everybody matters, you never know who can refer you. You can just send them, here's my information, and if you know anyone, or if I know anyone that I can refer to you, let's keep in touch. And for the leads that you were interested in, you want to send them an email to connect. We call it a one-on-one. You have a one-on-one meeting with them. Make it easy for them. If it's someone who's busy, tell them you can stop by their office for 15 minutes. If they want to go out, you can buy them coffee. Coffee is cheap. Everybody has to eat, so maybe you can invite them to lunch. Whatever your budget is, just try to meet with them so you guys can connect. That first connection isn't about selling your services. Frankly, nobody cares what you do. People want to know what you can do for them. So listen to their problem. Listen to what they're looking for. I promise you, after a while, they will ask you about your business. You can tell them briefly what they do. And maybe it might open a conversation on who they use for whatever services you're doing. But just build a relationship just like you were going to meet a friend, minus the getting drunk, falling on the floor, and cracking inappropriate jokes. So just be professional, but have a good time, get to know the person. And then after that one-on-one, then maybe you can just try to sell them something, send more information so they can keep, and then from there you create your sales funnel, and then you keep them in there, and whatever your system is, you put them through that system. But a one-on-one is very important after, and if it's not a one-on-one, it can be a phone call, but you have to contact these people after and try and keep at it.
Just one thing to add, especially since it's your first meeting, if possible, obviously not there to sell. Maybe you might leave it for the second meeting, but always try and definitely have supplemental information for them in case they do ask you. At least you have it on hand. Maybe a brochure, or you have a folder with all your company information, your business card, maybe services, that type of stuff, already in their catalog or whatever, depending on what it is you do. Have something to support that they can look at, to help them, when they leave that they remember, hey, let me look through it. This is all the things he does, and, stuff like that.
I have salespeople that are always on the road. So what they have an email ready with a PDF or their presentation folder. So as soon as they leave that meeting, they can just send it to you, because that's all they do. They're on the road all day and they just do sales. But that's not all of us. So whatever works for you and your business is just what you go with. So basically, to recap, networking is an important part of your business. And franchises always put in their marketing plan that the franchisee should join a chamber of commerce or an organization. Why? Because it works. So if everybody else is doing it and it's working for them, why not give it a try and get some more business out of it? And if anything, it's an involvement in the community. Networking gives you more sales, more friends, and more branding opportunity. And all you have to do is start going, spend a minimal amount of money, and start getting the sales.
That sums it up.
It was nice having you guys. If you have any comments, please leave all your messages below. If there's anything you'd like to hear more about, also let us know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Have a great night.
Thank you. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like.